South Africa today is, by most contemporary measures, the most unequal country in the world. This inequality has a long history. Throughout the 20th century, the white minority dominated political and economic resources. And despite democratization in the 1990s, our research shows that these inequalities have not decreased. By some measures, they have even intensified. There are two ways or two dimensions to these inequalities that we look at in our research. One has to do with income, so with the total earnings that individuals receive in a given month or in a given year. And the other dimension to these inequalities is wealth, defined as the sum of assets that people own, such as houses or equity, minus the debts that they owe. On both of these dimensions, we find that inequality in South Africa has not decreased and remains extreme. The richest 1% of wealth owners in South Africa own 55% of total wealth. Meanwhile, the poorest 90% own only 15% of wealth. Research shows that indeed the South African government has done significant efforts at curbing inequality. There are two ways to look at these efforts, taxes and transfers. So taxes have to do with the fact that individuals pay taxes to finance government revenue. And through tools such as the personal income tax or corporate income taxation, the South African government has made progress in reducing inequality at the very top of the income distribution. Transfers have to do with the fact that this revenue can be used either in social transfers, in education, in health, or in infrastructure development. And again, here the South African government has made substantial efforts, for instance, by implementing new social grants such as the child support grant. However, our findings show that despite these efforts, inequality has not decreased in South Africa. Today, the bottom 50% of the population, so the poorest half of the South African population, receives only 10% of total income in the country, even after accounting for all forms of transfers. Many different tools to tackle inequality, and all of them have to be considered jointly. So there is no one single solution to reduce inequality. However, in our research, we suggest that truly reducing income and wealth disparities in South Africa today requires tackling wealth. Why? Because wealth inequality persists through inheritance. And this inheritance leads to unequal economic and social opportunities at birth. So one way to tackle wealth inequality is to tax wealth. Wealth is not currently taxed seriously in South Africa, as in many countries in the world. And so we propose a progressive wealth tax on the richest 1% of South Africans. We show that with moderate tax rates, as much as 1.5% to 3.5% of total income produced in South Africa in a given year could be collected. This would contribute to both reducing inequality at the top of the wealth distribution and collecting additional revenue, which could be again invested in programs such as education, health, or employment.